For those of you who missed this week's episode of the Shadowspark Chronicles, oh boy, did you miss a good one. While the group is destroying Ethan Shadowspark's study, Oz decides to pull a card out of the deck of many things. In an instant, a young elf fighter appears and begins following Oz around, spouting his allegiance and loyalty to Oz. The group asks what Oz did, and he shows the group the deck and pulls yet another card from it. Suddenly, a whip drops out of thin air onto the floor next to him. They make their way back through the mines, and Bishop locks the doors. As they leave Tanisimprum, Bishop sets up a shrine for the deceased king's wife to honor his last wishes. They travel for the rest of the day and long into the night. Oz takes over throughout the night, and as he heads closer to the gates, he decides to pull yet another card from his deck while the rest of the group is sound asleep. As quickly as he does, everything magical that he owns goes poof, up into ashes. Oz wakes everyone up and asks if anyone has seen his things. Everyone is very confused as to what he is talking about. They arrive at the gates shortly after and cross through the threshold out of Tanisimprum. Bishop decides that they should stop and let the camels rest. During Oz's watch, he can't resist himself and he pulls another card, after which he suddenly falls unconscious straight to the ground. When the rest of the group wakes up, Oz's associate is crying, poking Oz, and blames himself for not protecting Oz. He can't wake his master up. Bishop examines Oz, and he can tell that he is still alive. He tells him that they need to get to Governor's Den as quickly as possible. Bishop pushes himself to exhaustion, but they arrive at Governor's Den and head to the temple. After finding out about the deck causing Oz's ailments, the priest tells them that they need to leave the temple immediately. Retreating back to the airship, Colton becomes agitated at seeing Oz's condition. He tells them that this falls on them and Oz's contract is still to be honored. Bishop argues with him and informs Colton that Oz is in fact not dead, and if he is so concerned, he needs to get airborne and get to Kanzor's Keep immediately. Lord Shadowstone brings his sick daughter and accompanies them to Kanzor's Keep. On the trip, Colton and Bishop get into an argument, yet again, as they are accustomed to at this point, over how Oz should be treated, and Colton gloats about always getting what he wants. The group gets together and discusses their next steps and can't quite agree on what they should do. Marzlin walks around the ship at night, scoping out the lay of the land, and is approached by Oz's brother Grizz. Grizz explains that he is worried about Oz, and feels that Colton might listen to the group if they approach him differently, hoping to find common ground with what he doesn't necessarily consider his friend. Marzlin gathers the group again, and with this new knowledge, it is decided that Justinian, Gwynton, and Marzlin will talk with Colton. Please join us every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we continue with the ongoing adventures of the Shadowspark Chronicles. And as always, we will see you in the dungeon. Oh boy, you have some editing to do there.